But I ain't, because I thought I was in love. All right, what's up, y'all? All right, MsMalcolmHughes here, back with another review. So let's get right into it. We're reviewing the Nancy Drew series. I have no background experience with Nancy Drew. I only really know the name and am aware of the fact that she was like an informal detective. So that's all that I knew. So coming into it, that's my level of depth. This is only a 5-book series. I think that it was really well done. Let's start with the positives. So I did like the fact that there was a lot of tongue-in-cheek type jokes, a lot of comedy. Kind of had to have your wits about you and analyze a little bit to get it all. So I really enjoyed that. Another thing that the comic book series did really well is drawing you in, right? You're not really completely sure where the storyline is going as far as how the mystery will unfold and what the end result will be. And so you're kind of on this journey with them, just figuring it out as you go. And I really enjoyed that. Also, I just thought the illustrations were pretty well done. Here's the cover of the first one. What's actually inside is so much more. What I really like about it, once you get inside, I think it's beautifully done, right? Really kind of reminded me of the Archie comic book series, like that style. A little dramatic sometimes. Kind of a little bit old school. I thought that it was dope. And it definitely kept my interest, and I did think that the artwork could be crisper, kind of something similar to Marvel does that a lot. I feel like it's really defined, but I thought that this was timely considering this is kind of something older and they're bringing it into the modern age. I kind of liked that cross with the illustrations, and it kind of gave you a bit of a nostalgia while also being very much present in today. So I thought that was nice. Okay, so just off the rip, I only had 2 major issues with this comic book, and I would honestly say the first one was just initially, so I have this problem in life sometimes, and I by no means am excused from it. I think we're all human. And I think sometimes if you are not othered, you don't always think of how this may impact others, right? So let's say, for instance, if you go to a restaurant and you need to access the building, and the building is on the 2nd floor, and let's say you're fully able-bodied and you're able to walk up to the 2nd floor, no problem. That's great. You're like, oh, you go in, it's a 5-star restaurant, had amazing food, the hostess was great, the waiter was great, you got to meet the chef, everything was just a phenomenal time. You will leave that place and you'll be like, it was amazing, 5 stars, it couldn't do anything better. But let's say you had a relative or someone who may have a disability, who is not as able-bodied to walk up that flight of stairs. It could be something as simple as 5 stairs, right? Nothing super strenuous, and you're just walking up, and they're not able to do that for a multitude of reasons, right? So that's a different experience for them, but you aren't approaching it from that position, so you may not even see that there's an issue here. Same thing with this comic book series. I say that for this one. In the first issue, there is a lesbian couple. It's an interracial couple. The girl Bess says to Nancy that George, which is one of the individuals in the relationship, says, oh my gosh, George has this new girlfriend, they're so inappropriate, they're always doing PDA, I totally want to turn the water hose on them. You want to turn the water hose on a black one? Yeah. So it's like it's problematic here. One, it's a queer identified couple. 2, one of the individuals in the relationship is African American. Just given the historical context here, I understand that, like, oh, I always turned the hose on. I get it. Historically, water hoses have been used violently against African Americans and others in protests in this country. So even though it is a lighthearted joke, it's problematic. And I continue to read the series, and as the series progressed, you could really tell that they thought about diversity, like cultural diversity, and cultural diversity across multiple spheres, right? So I think that that's something they were aware of, and they wanted this series to be for like multiple folks. For anyone who wanted to read it could pick it up and read it. However, sometimes I just need people to take that thought one step further and to just be a little bit more sensitive and a little bit more cognizant. And that's just one of the things here that for me initially was like, no. So this is something else that they did really well. So in this series, Nancy Drew and her friends are teenagers. So I think that they did a really good job of demonstrating intelligence and wit, and how sometimes adults are just dismissive against like young adults or teenagers, and how that can be problematic and slows down progress. I'm a big Sherlock Holmes fan, and I say that because Nancy Drew has those same deductive reasoning skills, which makes this really fun and just makes the inner like geek in me just very excited. The way that she can see a crime scene. So mind you that I've said up until this point that they've done a really good job pulling you in. They've really built the mystery. You're kind of invested. You want to know where it's going to go. In book 4, there's this major cliffhanger. You could see the incident itself coming. However, I think it was still a shocker, the final sentence that the culprit says. So I think that was a really great lead in to book 5. So book 5 comes, and the only thing I could say is like, it escalates quickly. A little too quickly. I feel as if they got to book 5 and realized they needed to wrap up the series, and everything just kind of escalated extremely fast. So for me, I kind of wanted a little bit more build up. So for me, that was my, I know I said earlier there were 2 complaints. That was my second complaint. I just feel as if there was like all of this great momentum and building and just storytelling, and at the end it was just like, we're in it just that fast. And I didn't like that. I kind of wanted more. But overall, I like the series. I don't like that there's a cliffhanger at the end. Like maybe this is just like the pilot and they wanted to see how it would go with fans and the folks would be invested, and maybe they'll expand it. But I didn't like the ending. It was cheesy and cliche. Overall, I would give it a B. I would give it a solid B. But yeah, that's it. More updates coming soon. Still have to get the review for We Were 8 Years in Power and Children of Blood and Bone. Those will both still be coming. Also, there'll be a video soon updating everyone on the books that I will be reading heading into 2019. And some life updates there. There will also be a giveaway in the near future and other updates to come. If you haven't, please like, subscribe, and share this video, because I am trying to build my channel and I would love to build it with all of you and share and have dialogue about books more. So that is it for today. I hope that everyone has a lovely weekend, and as always, remember to give time and to have the best day of your life on purpose.
Pretty, witty, girly, worldly, one who likes to party but come home early.